Baseball season is here at last, and the excitement continues all season long at DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Why wait until the end of the season to claim victory when you can win huge cash every day? Hurry to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code PARDON to play for free. You could win part of the $300 million in prizes being awarded this season. Enter PARDON for free entry now at DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Michael Wilbon. It's National Surprise Drug Test Day, Tony. Would you pass?
And Tony Kornheiser, and it depends. Do they test for Cialis?
Oh, little macho drug in your system,
You thought that I would go for Viagra, but Cialis, that's the one with the bathtub. And I've never seen those two bathtubs out in any field I've ever been, but if I ever do, I want to be ready.
Viagra is the one with the hot woman in the blue dress, so you stick for
I understand that, but it's the bathtub scene you got to go for. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Pat Riley skewers LeBron, the Blazers have a problem with Spanish players, and Floyd Mayweather compares himself favorably to Muhammad Ali. But we begin today with the manager of the Cincinnati Reds' profanity-laced tirade before last night's eventual 6-1 win over Milwaukee. Bryan Price managed to squeeze 77 F-bombs.
How many?
77 into a 5.5-minute rant, essentially against freedom of information. Price lobbed 91 curse words in all, and today apologized for his language, but not his content aimed at reporters who he feels are sabotaging his team with their coverage. Here's a taste from when Price was really rolling.
To be honest with you, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of listening to this. I'm sick of the second guessing. You guys can do whatever the you want, but I'll tell you this. I'm not going to tell you everything about this club because you guys are going to go out there and sniff it out anyway. I don't like it one bit. Bend over backwards to be honest and direct with you guys, and you stick it right up my and the team. And I'm sick of it.
My God, there's hardly any words you can hear. Come on, is Price's apology enough?
He doesn't need to apologize. There's no need to apologize. It's a little inside baseball, literally. You and I covered baseball early in our careers. This used to happen. There was no audio, and God knows no video.
Well, yeah.
2 or 3 times a week.
Oh,
Part of the fun of covering baseball was being in the manager's office, and no one has more access in media than baseball writers, baseball media.
But he's no Hal McRae.
No, he's no Hal McRae.
He's no Hal
and
McRae.
No Lee Elia. This wasn't even harsh. And the cool thing was, an hour and a half later, they'd all be out drinking somewhere, the writers that he had just cursed out, and the manager. Whether we're talking about friendly guys like Tommy Lasorda or antagonistic guys like Pete Rose, this is the history of baseball. There's no apology necessary.
I'm going to tell you something, that I think he will probably get fined by Major League Baseball because it is recorded, because it is disseminated, you know, and
Twitter.
It embarrasses baseball. It embarrasses baseball.
It does not.
If I fined him, my heart wouldn't be in the fine. I'm pretty much where you are on this. But the content, which he doesn't apologize for, the content is very simple. His position is, you guys are reporting what's going on in my team before I know what's going on in my team, and you're ruining and undercutting my authority with my team. And that's exactly what reporters are supposed to do.
Of course, Tony, but this has been complained about for 130 years. And you go to the manager the next day and say, I don't get paid by you, I get paid by them. And you know what would happen? What would happen later that night?
They talk to you and buy you a drink.
So
I understand it.
So everything's a big deal now because it's audio and video. That's the only conclusion we can come back to.
Major League Baseball has a stake in it. It's very simple. It's this. Major League Baseball wants coverage by reporters, and part of the compact is that managers will talk to reporters.
He's not going to not talk to them?
Oh, no, he's going to talk to them every day.
So this is why, you know, people will go nuts. I'm sure on Twitter right now people want, stop. It's not a big deal.
Can I tell you this? The first 2.5 minutes, he's totally rational and calm.
He's way too rational. Lee Elia. It's not Lee Elia. Not
Lee
McRae.
Elia. Everybody heard Lee Elia, and everybody watched Hal McRae. He invented a word.
Situation.
We're not going there.
I love that story. There was a much more meaningful verbal shot delivered down in Miami, where Pat Riley, no F-bombs, while delivering his end-of-season State of the Team address, said this offseason would be different from last because it would have, quote, no more smiling faces with hidden agendas, close quote. Riley did not mention the name LeBron James or specify that LeBron sabotaged the Heat by leaving last summer, but that's what most, if not all of us, are hearing. Tony, didn't Riley's comments read like a big shot at LeBron to you?
Hydrogen bomb. That's exactly what it is. Pat Riley wooed LeBron James from Cleveland to Miami and then could not stop him from returning. So Pat Riley wants to paint this like he's a traitor. He did this to me. I put him together with Bosh and Wade. We had a great team, and he ran out on me and locked in. And if he wants to do that, that's fine if you're Pat Riley, who's a big guy. But Pat Riley essentially looks now like a kid at a prom who just got dumped by the homecoming queen. That's what he looks like.
Well, you know, this story is interesting because in basketball, Tony, it's not a partnership, but it's closer because players have some power and they can lead. They don't get franchise tagged. And so not only do I not blame LeBron James for what he did going back to Cleveland, I applaud him for it. But I'm okay with Pat Riley coming back at him. These people have their own agendas. They defend their own turf. They have their own purposes. Pat Riley did not get to be the champion many times over that he is because he just laid down and take it. Pat Riley's feisty and combative, and we love that about him.
You know Riley, I know Riley. He's a giant figure in the history of basketball.
He is.
All right? I am sure that Pat Riley right now feels he's a larger figure overall than LeBron James.
Well, he is.
And that LeBron James has done him
dirty.
Pat Riley, over the last 50 years, going back to the University of Kentucky, and he won as a player. He won as a coach. He won as an executive. You go through the Lakers and the Knicks and the Heat, and it's 50 years of basketball. And he's thinking to himself, this guy did this to me. Who is this guy?
Pat Riley's name is sprinkled throughout the history of basketball, the sport, at every level. So you're right.
He thinks he's bigger than LeBron.
Well, you know what? You know what? It's too bad we didn't get to see a series between Miami and Cleveland. It would have been fun. It would have been a walkover. It would have been fun.
The Golden State Warriors and the Chicago Bulls both won last night at home to get 2-0 leads in their first-round series. Both games had some tension, but both favorites won. Wilbon, which team that is down 0-2 is more likely to make it a series, New Orleans or Milwaukee?
Milwaukee, Tony. And part of it is, I mean, the series is just, both those series are going to go to New Orleans and Milwaukee, respectively. The Milwaukee was within 3 points, had a 3-point lead, 74-71. The Bulls are still trying to find themselves. Yes, Derrick Rose had another great half last night, only a great half, not an entire great game. But now, Niko Mirotic is probably going to miss both Milwaukee games with injuries he suffered in a scuffle last night. That hurts them, their best player off the bench. I don't see New Orleans really challenging Golden State. Do you?
No, but what New Orleans has is a great player. Milwaukee does not have a great player. In Anthony Davis, they have someone, if it's close in the fourth quarter and you're a great player, you can dominate one quarter, even against a great team. So theoretically, I believe, I don't think they're going to win, but theoretically, I believe that they might win a game. But I look at the Milwaukee team without great players compared to Chicago. This has the smell of a 1-8 series to me, much more so than Golden State. I think Chicago's better in every way. They have more playoff experience. They are more talented.
All true.
They are deeper. I think they're 15 to 20 points. If Derrick Rose plays well, they're 15 to 20 points better in every game.
Milwaukee is challenged to score. But let me just say this to compliment Milwaukee, having watched them in person last night. What Jason Kidd has done with that team, without the guy who was ticketed to be their star, Jabari Parker, in street clothes.
Yeah.
Jason Kidd, Tony, they play hard. Yeah. This is true about the Celtics, by the way, right now, and the Bucks.
They're not as good.
They're not as good. They believe in their coach. They play hard.
They're just not as
good. I think these both have a 4-1, maybe 4-2, depending on Mirotic and Chicago, and 4-0 still Golden State over New Orleans. 4-1 match.
I think Chicago's got 4-0. I think they're better.
The Portland Trailblazers are feeling some heat, or should I say additional heat, trailing Memphis 1-0. According to the Oregonian, one of several laminated cards posted in the locker room before Game 1 read, quote, "We don't lose to Spanish players," close quote, which is an obvious reference to Spaniard Marc Gasol. Of course, Portland has lost to Gasol 5 consecutive games and counting. And today, Portland's Nicolas Batum of France took responsibility for the message and apologized. So what do you think, something or nothing?
I think it's something. I don't think it's the biggest something in the world, but I think it's something. And the reason I would say that, you talk about several laminated cards. I don't care how many laminated cards are up there. If one of them said we don't lose to black players, you'd have CNN 24 hours a day and you'd have a demonstration out in front of the arena. So you can't, in the cold light of day, you can't say this about Spanish players, especially as you point out, since they're 0-5 against a guy. And it's also an insanely stupid thing to do.
It is.
Because what you have done now is you have poked the bear. You have incentivized Memphis, which you can't beat anyway.
And
you
the best player on Memphis, who may be the best center or certainly one of the two best centers in the league, and you can't beat him.
Right.
Now, let's go back to Nicholas Batum for a second, who has history with the team, with the Spanish team in the Olympics. I don't know what other sort of inter-European competition there may be interested in. You like Nicholas Batum because of his name. You started calling Portland the Legion of Batum. Well, Batum says his girlfriend, who is at least apparently half Spanish,
Russian and Spanish,
said, take a hike or something like that. Well, probably a lot more.
I mean, I don't want to go overboard on
colorful language in there.
And it is very possible, because I don't understand how Europe works, because I didn't grow up in Europe. It's very possible
maybe you can have these insults.
that this nationalism in Europe.
Well, in soccer, we see it's permissible.
That maybe it is permissible. But
here,
no, it's here. This is where. Let me ask something. Is Portland in Europe? Because I don't think it's in Europe. I think it's here, and we're going to read this differently.
Portland get a game in that series?
Yeah, they'll get one game. They'll get one game. Okay, here we are going smack dab in the middle of the burgeoning Mayweather-Pacquiao hype machine.
Can't wait.
We refer to Floyd Mayweather, whose ego knows no restraint, comparing himself favorably to Muhammad Ali in a conversation with our colleague, Stephen A. Smith.
I'm not familiar with Steve
Smith is what I wanted to call him because I thought it would be funny. Mayweather said, quote, "No one can ever brainwash me to believe that Muhammad Ali was better than me. Leon Spinks beat him when he had 7 fights. They'd never put a fighter in there with Floyd Mayweather with 7 fights," unquote. Well, then I assume you're with your boy Floyd.
Never. I mean, he's great. He's historically great, Floyd. Historically great. He would have beat Pacquiao 7 years ago. He's going to beat him in a couple of weeks. But he ducked him. See, here's what Muhammad Ali did not do. Because I was around for most all of the Muhammad Ali time in the ring, tenure. He didn't duck anybody. Here's what Ray Robinson, my father's favorite fighter, did not do. He did not duck anybody. They fought all comers. They fight you outside a bar if they could put a ring up quickly enough. He ducked Manny Pacquiao. Floyd Mayweather did 4 years. I don't want to hear it.
I'm going to the glasses because I got a list here. I'm not going to say that Mayweather is anything but great, because he's great.
He's great.
But in my life, the fighters I saw, the top 3 for me, Muhammad Ali, Ray Robinson, and the early Mike Tyson. As great as Mayweather is, I didn't see Joe Louis and Rocky Marciano.
Right.
As great as Mayweather is, he's to me on the next level where I've got really great people, Hagler and Hearns and Ray Leonard, Julio Cesar Chavez.
I might put Ray Leonard up on that top
Holyfield,
I don't know. Him up there.
Holmes, De La Hoya, Duran, people like that. But the difference is that Muhammad Ali was an enormous cultural figure. That can't happen in boxing anymore.
Mayweather tells you how much his cars cost.
What does that mean?
Nothing. There's no gravity to it.
No, because boxing now, it's good that you say how much his cars cost, because boxing now is about money. It's pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You can't, it
doesn't impact the culture the way it used to. Going back to Jack Johnson and even before that.
So
and it sounds like Mayweather, while he can tell you what happened in the ring with Ali, doesn't understand any of the cultural importance.
No.
Mayweather is a great fighter historically. He is of no great significance historically.
Let us take a break, but coming up, will the Celtics give the Cavs a game tonight?
I think they might. And Phil Jackson, your boy, says the Knickerbockers can have a winning record. Wait for it. Next season.
Fighters aren't larger than life anymore.
No, they're not.
They're just not.
Not this Tyson. He's the last one, right?
Tyson, the early Tyson.
Baseball season is here at last, and the excitement continues all season long at DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Why wait until the end of the season to claim victory when you can win huge cash every day? Hurry to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code PARDON to play for free. You could win part of the $300 million in prizes being awarded this season. Enter PARDON for free entry now at DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com.
It's called the PTI Psychic Hotline because we're psychic.
We are.
And we're hot.
We are.
Let's take the first call.
Hey, Tony and Mike, I want to know, do you see the Celtics playing the Cavs close tonight?
I don't. I look into the future, and I see the Celtics fading in the second and third quarters. I mean, I understand that it was the first time that Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love played in the playoffs. But who on the Celtics has playoff experience?
Nobody.
And I think that what LeBron did in the first game was he wanted to feed the young players. And now it is time to let the big dog eat. And I see this, Mike, I see this as a 20-point game.
So you see LeBron flexing tonight as early as game 2. See, I don't see that yet. I don't think LeBron feels the need to do that yet. And LeBron has played in so many playoff games.
So Pat Riley.
He understands pacing a little bit. And you know what? If you want to get the young bucks out there and let them sort of wear themselves out early, then LeBron comes in later. I do see a relatively close game.
No.
Cleveland went ahead by 20 in game 1, which I attended. But the Celtics, Tony, talking about guys who play hard, young nobodies who play hard. They hung in there. They got that thing down to 6. They're not going to win the game in Cleveland, but they're going to keep it close. Competitive, yes.
Hi, guys. This is Chuck. Do you see Paul Pierce giving another throwback performance tonight?
I don't. I think that Paul Pierce has had his one great game on this small road trip. Paul Pierce walked the walk.
He did.
He said that Toronto doesn't scare anybody, which made the Toronto GM insane and cost him a bunch of money. And Paul Pierce scored 20 points. I think that's it for him this time around. What the Wizards need, they can't have Bradley Beal and John Wall, their best players, go 11 for 41. It's amazing they won that game because that performance stinks. They need more from their guards.
Well, DeRozan and Lowry stunk it up even more so than Beal and Wall, Tony. I don't see Pierce having a great game tonight, but let me expand our vision a little bit. I see Paul Pierce having additional great games, at least 2 of them, in this playoff series. Toronto's in a must-win situation tonight, and if they are weak enough to let Paul Pierce walk into Toronto and just gangster them again, that would speak volumes about Toronto, and they wouldn't have it at all.
All credit
to Paul Pierce. Going to do this again in this series.
All credit to Paul Pierce.
He is.
Next.
Hey, fellas. This is John. Do you see the New York Mets as legit?
They've won 8 in a row, and they've accomplished that without David Wright in most of those games.
They'll be coming back soon, David Wright.
I don't want to say that they're legit. I'm going to say this. They have Matt Harvey back. Okay, last year they finished 79 and 83.
Isn't the Dark Knight of Gotham like one of the great nicknames of all time, or modern time?
79 and 83, Mike, and
they were pretty good.
17 games out in a very weak division.
Yeah.
Matt Harvey is going to win at least 17 games for them. So they are right there with the Nats at that point. They're in a good spot.
They've got pitching. This guy, DeGrom, is that his name?
Jacob DeGrom.
It's like 6'4". He's sort of imposing.
He is, sort of.
He is.
Yes.
But Tony, they have pitching in addition to the Dark Knight.
90-year-old Bartolo Colon.
You know, you made fun when Bartolo Colon was named the starter opening day. It's been working out pretty well.
He's 3-0.
Bartolo Colon, isn't it? So when you have that kind of pitching.
So what did I say? I said the Mets are in a good spot.
I think they are. You don't want to fall in love already. Go ahead.
Next.
Give it up.
Tony, Mike, it's Andy. Do you see the Knicks having a winning record next season?
Phil Jackson says they're going to have a winning record. They won, 14 games this year, 17 games?
16.
Milwaukee went from 15 to 41 without their best player.
That's right.
Jabari Parker. Here's what's going to happen to the Knicks next year. Carmelo comes back healthy. They get either Karl Anthony Towns or Jahlil Okafor in the draft.
That's right.
They sign Kevin Love. They win 42 to 45 games. Viva New York.
They have no chance.
Really?
They have no chance of having a winning season.
I'm looking in the future.
Sorry, let me say something. We like Kevin Love.
Yeah.
But how many winning seasons was Kevin Love a part of before playing with LeBron James?
Less than many.
Yeah, less than many, like 0.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Sort of like 0.
Look, Jason, once again, I'm going to go back to Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd gets a lot of the credit, the lion's share perhaps, of what you're talking about.
Are you knocking Derek Fisher?
No, I'm not. All I'm saying is this is difficult. I agree with you. They're going to sign a couple of players. They're going to draft one of those guys. And maybe they'll win 38 to 40 games, but they're not going to have a winning record next
45
season.
And terrible Eastern
Not going to have a
Conference.
winning record, Tony.
Phil Jackson sees it, and I see it. That's it. We're taking one last break, but in our future, I see Wilbon saying something sarcastic as the NFL announces its schedule.
You don't even know. And I see the Packers, the Cheeseheads, picking an appropriate date to bring back Brett Favre and retire his number 4 jersey.
42 to 45 next year for the New York Knickerbockers. Yeah.
36 to 40.
That's a huge jump.
ESPN Radio.
With the action on the court, the diamond, or the gridiron.
Comes alive.
The NBA.
The San Antonio Spurs are the world champions.
Major League Baseball.
San Francisco Giants are the champions of the baseball world.
The new college football playoff.
College football playoff national champion, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Your home for the best in sports play-by-play.
ESPN Radio.
Happy time, people. Happy 35th birthday, Tony Romo.
Whoa.
Romo had his best season last year, throwing 34 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions.
Romo's 35?
He led the Cowboys to a division win and the playoffs. He won one game. He should have won the second. But somehow Des Bryant's catch was not a catch.
It seems like Romo, you should be wishing him happy 29th birthday. He's been around a much longer period of time as a starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys than one would think.
Happy anniversary to these dogs. On this day 2 years ago, this gang of canines put on an epic halftime show at a Thunder game.
That's epic.
These dogs were great. I
Really?
love animal acts, but their feet are on the ground. Watch this guy in Chicago last night. He levitated. Let's see any of these dogs do that, because that's levitation, Holmes.
I was there and didn't even turn around to watch this guy.
What are you,
levitate.
nuts? He levitated. Happy trails to the wait for the NFL schedule. We know which teams will play which teams next year and where they'll play. But tonight at 8 o'clock, we find out what time they're going to play. We find out who's playing at night, who's playing in a day. Wilbon, I'll bet you cannot wait for this.
We've known all of these matchups for weeks.
But not what time. That's the point, not what time. Now we'll know the time. We'll know who's on national TV at what time. Watches time.
You're pathetic.
Just one clarification. I was right on my second guess as to the Knicks win total, 17. Wilbon said 16, which is embarrassing.
Yeah, the
for
win
him.
total, the
His
season's
entire
embarrassing.
family. Let's go to the big finish.
Let's
Here we
do
go.
it.
The Packers will retire Brett Favre's jersey against the Bears on Thanksgiving night. You know the time. Do you want to see that?
No, but I might be in the box watching it.
You're not going to see the Bears?
Live. I don't want to.
Oh.
I don't care about Favre's jersey. He's a cheesehead. He's the enemy. Come on. Surely you understand. Kelvin Herrera was suspended 5 games for throwing behind Brett Laurie. Remember that? Kansas City dust up.
It's totally
fair.
He did that deliberately. He throws a 100-mile-an-hour heater. If he hits Laurie in the head, there's something tragic that could happen. That is a fair. That's totally fair. Current Oregon coach Mark Helfrich says Chip Kelly is not insane. What? Do you agree with that?
It'd been news if the current coach of Oregon had said the former Oregon coach was insane. That would be news. Clippers owner Steve Ballmer has turned the Lakers locker room into the owner's lounge. Too cocky?
TMZ says that the Lakers agreed to let him do this. I would never have allowed this to happen. These are the Lakers,
man.
Come on. Last one, Mavs at Rockets night. Be a man and take the Mavs.
Okay. I'm going to take the Mavs to top the series.
I don't have to twist your arm. That's
No,
it.
you don't. By the way, suppose Favre was having his number retired and played for Stony Brook. How would you feel about that?
I hate Stony Brook, but I like Favre. We're out of time. We'll try to do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
Sports, everybody hates somebody. I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, Knucklehead. Check out the PTI podcast on iTunes.
DoorDash. It's how you get food.